Lost and found, 13 of history's most surprising ancient treasures. What if your next walk in the park or your next dive into the ocean could make you astonishingly rich? What if a simple, everyday object lost to time was the key to unlocking a fortune buried for centuries? For most of us, discovering ancient treasure is the stuff of fantasy and adventure movies, but for a surprisingly lucky few, it has become a breathtaking reality. From farmers searching for lost tools to amateur divers cleaning up trash, history has a way of revealing its most valuable secrets to the most unexpected people. These discoveries are more than just gold and silver. They are time capsules offering priceless insights into the fears, ambitions, and artistry of lost worlds. They tell stories of collapsing empires, fleeing kings, and immense wealth hidden in moments of absolute desperation. Today, we are digging into the incredible stories behind 13 of the most valuable and surprising ancient treasures ever found. Before we unearth these fortunes, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and activate notifications so you never miss another journey into history's most fascinating mysteries. Part 1. Fortune's Favor. Treasures Found by Chance. Our journey begins not with professional archaeologists, but with ordinary people whose lives were changed in an instant by a stroke of extraordinary luck. These are the stories of treasures that were stumbled upon by accident, proving that history's greatest riches can be hiding just beneath our feet. 1. The Hoxne Hoard, a farmer's lost hammer and a Roman fortune. In November 1992, a tenant farmer named Peter Watling, living in the village of Hoxne in Suffolk, England, misplaced a hammer in one of his fields. To help him find it, he borrowed a metal detector from his friend, a retired gardener and amateur metal detectorist named Eric Laws. As Laws scanned the freshly plowed field, the detector began to signal insistently. But instead of a hammer, he unearthed a handful of ancient silver spoons and gold coins. Realizing he had found something far more significant than a lost tool, Laws did something remarkable. He stopped digging immediately. He gathered the items, carefully marked the spot, and notified the authorities as required by English law. What he had stumbled upon was the Hoxne Hoard, the largest and richest trove of late Roman treasure ever discovered in Britain. A team of archaeologists from the Suffolk Archaeological Unit excavated the site over a single day, carefully recovering the entire hoard. It had been buried in an oak chest, which had long since rotted away, but its contents were astonishing. The treasure included 14,865 Roman coins, gold, silver, and bronze, dating from the late 4th and early 5th centuries. Alongside the coins were around 200 items of silver tableware and gold jewelry. The collection featured stunning gold body chains, bracelets, and rings, intricate silver gilt pepper pots, including the famous Empress pepper pot, shaped like the bust of a noble lady, and beautifully crafted silver spoons and ladles. The entire treasure, valued at over $3.8 million, is believed to have been buried by a wealthy Roman family fleeing the chaos as the Roman Empire abandoned Britain around 410 AD. Thanks to the honesty and quick thinking of Eric Laws, the entire hoard was recovered intact, offering an unparalleled glimpse into the life of the Roman elite at the very moment their world was collapsing. 2. The Saddle Ridge Hoard, a dog walk, leads to America's greatest buried treasure. In February 2013, a couple from Northern California, who have chosen to remain anonymous and are known only by the names John and Mary, were taking their dog for its daily walk on their rural property in the gold country of the Sierra Nevada. They noticed the top of an old, rusty can sticking out of the ground, near a path they had walked hundreds of times before. Annoyed by the piece of junk on their land, they decided to dig it out. The can was surprisingly heavy. To their shock, when they pried it open, it was filled to the brim with gold coins. Stunned, they rushed back with a metal detector and began scanning the area. They soon found another can, and another, and another. By the time they were finished, they had unearthed a total of 8 cans containing 1,127 gold coins. This was the Saddle Ridge Hoard, the largest and most valuable discovery of buried treasure in United States history. The coins were mostly $20 double eagles, but also included $10 eagles and $5 half eagles, all minted between 1847 and 1894. Many of the coins were in pristine, uncirculated condition, making them exceptionally rare. The face value of the coins was about $27,000, but their market value as rare collectibles was estimated to be over $10 million. The identity of the person who buried the treasure remains a mystery. The area was a major center of the 1849 California gold rush, and the coins may have been hidden by a successful miner who never returned to claim his fortune. The discovery by John and Mary was a 1-in-a-million chance, a direct link to the wild and hopeful days of the gold rush. 3. The Zabia treasure, a holiday snorkel and a Roman secret. In the summer of 2021, 2 brothers-in-law from Spain, Luis Lenz and Cesar Gimeno, were vacationing with their families in Zabia, on the coast of Alicante. They were amateur divers, enjoying a snorkel in the shallow waters of Portitsol Bay. Their equipment was modest, a simple €10 set of goggles, a snorkel and fins. They had a commendable habit of diving to collect trash from the seabed, like bottles and bits of plastic. It was during one of these cleanup dives that their holiday took a historic turn. At a depth of about 7 meters, nestled in a crevice between 2 rocks, Luis saw a glint of gold. He thought it might be a modern 10-cent coin, but when he brought it to the surface, he realized it was an ancient gold coin. Overcome with excitement, they returned to the spot, this time armed with a corkscrew from a Swiss Army knife to carefully pry more items from the rock. They managed to recover 7 more coins. Wisely, they placed their small collection in a jar of salt water to preserve them and immediately informed the local authorities. The University of Alicante organized a professional underwater excavation and recovered a total of 53 Roman gold coins, all in a remarkable state of preservation. The coins, known as solidi, dated from the late 4th and early 5th centuries, from the reigns of Roman emperors Valentinian I, Theodosius I, Arcadius, and Honorius. Archaeologists believe the coins were deliberately hidden in a chest on the seafloor to protect them from the barbarian invasions that were ravaging the Western Roman Empire at the time. The find by the 2 vacationers was not just a reward for their environmental conscientiousness, but a stunning discovery that shed new light on a period of immense fear and upheaval. Part 2. The buried wealth of kings and warriors. These treasures were not the savings of wealthy families, but the accumulated fortunes of kings, warriors, and entire kingdoms, buried in times of war and political turmoil. They speak of immense power, dynastic struggles, and the violent birth of nations. 4. The Staffordshire Hoard, the golden spoils of Anglo-Saxon warfare. On July 5, 2009, Terry Herbert, an unemployed amateur metal detectorist, was searching a recently ploughed field in Hammerich, Staffordshire, England. His 14-year-old detector suddenly began to beep. Over the next 5 days, he unearthed so many gold and silver objects that he filled 244 bags. He had discovered the Staffordshire Hoard, the largest hoard of Anglo-Saxon gold and silver metalwork ever found. The treasure consisted of over 3,500 items containing more than 5 kilograms of gold and 1.4 kilograms of silver. But what was truly astonishing was the nature of the treasure. It contained no domestic items like plates or cutlery and no coins. It was almost exclusively the spoils of war. The hoard was a dazzling collection of over 300 gold sword hilt fittings, fragments of helmets, including intricately decorated cheek pieces, and numerous Christian crosses, some of which had been bent or broken. It was as if an entire army's worth of military finery had been stripped from the battlefield, broken up, and buried. The craftsmanship is extraordinary, featuring intricate garnet inlays, a technique known as cloisonné. The garnets themselves were sourced from as far away as Sri Lanka and Afghanistan, a testament to the extensive trade networks of the time. The hoard is believed to have been buried in the late 7th or early 8th century, when the area was part of the powerful Anglo-Saxon kingdom of Mercia. It was likely buried to hide it from a rival army, perhaps during the numerous wars between the Anglo-Saxon kingdoms. The hoard, valued at 3.3 million, completely transformed historians' understanding of this dark age, revealing a culture of elite warriors with a sophisticated artistic and martial tradition. 5. The Rügen treasure, the lost fortune of Harold Bluetooth. In January 2018, a 13-year-old German student named Luka Malashnichenko and an amateur archaeologist, René Schön, were exploring the island of Rügen in the Baltic Sea with a metal detector. They stumbled upon what they initially thought was a worthless piece of aluminum, but upon closer inspection, they realized it was a silver coin. They kept their find a secret and contacted the regional archaeological service. A professional excavation of a 400-square-meter area was launched. What they uncovered was a treasure trove believed to have belonged to one of the most famous figures of the Viking Age, King Harold Bluetooth Gormson, the King of Denmark and Norway, who united the Danish tribes and is the namesake for modern Bluetooth technology. The treasure dates to the late 10th century and includes braided necklaces, pearls, rings, brooches, a Thor's hammer pendant, and around 600 chipped coins. Over 100 of these coins date directly to Bluetooth's reign. Historians believe the king buried the treasure around 986 AD while he was fleeing from his own son, Sweyn Forkbeard, who had rebelled against him and usurped the throne. Harold Bluetooth fled to Pomerania, where he died shortly after. The discovery is the most important find of Bluetooth-era coins in the southern Baltic region and provides a tangible link to a dramatic moment of Viking dynastic conflict. 6. The Kjørdal Hoard, the greatest Viking treasure chest. On May 15, 1840, a group of workmen were repairing an embankment on the south bank of the River Ribble in Kjørdal near Preston, England. They found a lead chest buried in the earth. Inside was the Kjørdal Hoard, the largest Viking silver hoard ever found outside of Russia. The treasure was immense, containing over 8,600 items, including silver coins, jewelry, ingots, and hack silver chopped up for use as currency. The total weight was over 40 kilograms. The hoard is a fascinating snapshot of the Viking world in the early 10th century. The coins come from a wide variety of sources. About 70% are from the Viking kingdoms of Eastern England. The rest are a mix of coins from the Anglo-Saxon kingdom of Wessex under Alfred the Great, and foreign coins from Scandinavia, the Carolingian Empire, the Islamic Caliphate, and even the Papal States in Italy. It is believed that the hoard was buried between 903 and 910 AD by Vikings who had been expelled from Dublin. They were likely on their way to re-establish themselves in northern England when they buried their accumulated wealth for safekeeping, but for some unknown reason, they never returned to retrieve it. The Kjørdal Hoard remains one of the most important Viking discoveries ever made, a massive war chest that tells a story of exile, wealth, and a journey cut short. 7. The Le Catillon II Hoard, a Celtic fortune, hidden from Caesar. In the early 1980s, two amateur metal detectorists in Britain, Richard Miles and Reg Mead, heard a strange story from a woman on the British island of Jersey. She told them her father, a farmer, had found some ancient silver coins while ploughing his field years before. Miles and Mead got permission to search the property but found very little. For 3 decades they continued their hobby, but the story of the Jersey field lingered in their minds. In June 2012, they decided to try again. This time, their detector gave a strong signal. They began to dig and found a few silver coins. They called in professional archaeologists, and together they began a careful excavation. What they found was beyond their wildest dreams. It was a single, massive, solidified block of earth and metal weighing 3/4 of a ton. It was the Le Catillon II hoard, the largest hoard of Celtic coins and jewelry ever discovered. Over the next few years, specialists at the Jersey Museum carefully dismantled the hoard, revealing an incredible 68,000 coins. Mixed in with the coins were gold torques, neck rings, glass beads, and other pieces of jewelry. The treasure is valued at over 10 million. It is believed to have been buried around 3040 BC by the Coriosolites, a Gallic Celtic tribe, to hide it from the advancing Roman armies of Julius Caesar during his conquest of Gaul. The hoard is a monumental discovery, a testament to the immense wealth of the Celtic tribes and their desperate attempt to protect it from Roman domination. 8. The Schroeder Treasure, a lost royal dowry. In 1985, during demolition work on an old building in the Polish town of Śląska, workers found a vase. Inside was a treasure of jewels and coins so valuable it has been estimated to be worth up to $120 million. It is one of the most valuable archaeological discoveries in Poland's history. The treasure included a stunning gold woman's crown, 4 gold pendants from the 12th and 13th centuries, a magnificent gold brooch decorated with precious stones, and 3 rings. Alongside the jewelry were 39 gold coins and 2,924 silver coins. The treasure, now displayed in the Regional Museum of Śląska, is believed to have belonged to Charles IV, the Holy Roman Emperor who reigned from 1355 to 1378. It is thought that he pawned the treasure to raise funds to support his claim to the title of King of the Romans. The magnificent gold crown likely belonged to his first wife, Blanche of Valois, granddaughter of King Philip III of France. The treasure provides a direct link to the complex world of medieval European royalty, a story of political ambition and a queen's lost dowry. Part 3. The splendor of lost civilizations. These treasures are not just collections of coins, but masterpieces of art and craftsmanship that open a window into the souls of ancient civilizations. Cultures known for their unique artistic traditions and immense wealth. 9. The Panagyriste Treasure, the Golden Feast of the Thracians. On the cold morning of December 8, 1949, 3 brothers, Pavel, Petko, and Mikhail Dakov, were working at a tile factory near the town of Panagyriste, Bulgaria. While digging in a clay pit, one of the brothers saw a glint of metal. What they found was a treasure of breathtaking beauty and craftsmanship. It was a complete golden Thracian feasting set. The treasure consists of 9 solid gold objects, weighing over 6 kilograms in total. It includes a large file, a type of shallow dish, an amphora, and 7 rhytons, elaborate drinking vessels. The craftsmanship is extraordinary. The rhytons are shaped like the heads of women and animals, including a stag and a ram. The amphora is decorated with intricate scenes from Greek mythology. The treasure is remarkable not only for its weight in gold, but for its stunning artistic quality. The objects were made between the late 4th and early 3rd centuries BC and are a prime example of the incredible skill of Thracian goldsmiths. The Thracians were a group of tribes who inhabited the southeastern Balkans, and they were renowned for their love of gold and their unique artistic style. The Panagyriste treasure is one of the greatest Thracian treasures ever found, a golden testament to the sophisticated culture of a people who left behind no written language, but whose artistry speaks volumes. 10. The Tilya Tepe treasure, the Bactrian gold of Afghanistan. In 1978, just a year before the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan, a joint Soviet-Afghan archaeological team led by the Greco-Russian archaeologist Viktor Sarianidi was excavating a site called Tilya Tepe, which in Persian means Hill of Gold. They soon discovered how appropriate the name was. They unearthed 6 burial mounds, 5 women and 1 man, containing a staggering 21,000 pieces of gold, turquoise, and lapis lazuli. The treasure, dating to the 1st century AD, is known as the Bactrian gold. The artifacts are a dazzling fusion of artistic styles, reflecting the site's location at the crossroads of ancient cultures. There are Greco-Roman influences, art from the Eurasian steppes, and objects from as far away as India and China. The treasure includes a stunning golden crown that can be disassembled for travel, gold belts and daggers, necklaces with pearls and turquoise, and cameos with precious stones. It belonged to a wealthy nomadic ruling family, possibly of the Yuezhi or Saka tribes. For decades, the treasure was thought to have been lost or looted during the years of war that ravaged Afghanistan. But in 2003, it was revealed that the staff of the National Museum of Afghanistan had bravely hidden the treasure in a secret vault beneath the presidential palace, protecting it through multiple conflicts. The Tilya Tepe treasure is a priceless testament to a vibrant cosmopolitan world of trade and cultural exchange in ancient Central Asia. 11. The pre-Viking Danish treasure, an offering to the gods. In early 2021, a man named Ole Ginnerup Schitz was using a metal detector for the first time on land belonging to an old schoolmate in the town of Vindelev in central Denmark. He discovered one of the largest, richest, and most beautiful gold hoards in Danish history. The treasure consists of 22 gold objects from the 6th century, weighing nearly a kilogram in total. The find dates to the period just before the Viking Age. The treasure includes magnificently decorated medallions called bracteates and necklaces made from Roman coins, including one of the Emperor Constantine the Great from the 4th century. The quality of the craftsmanship is exceptional, indicating that the treasure belonged to a very powerful chieftain or important member of the community. Archaeologists believe the hoard was buried either to protect it from a hostile raid or as a massive sacrificial offering to the gods, perhaps to appease them. During a period of climate chaos caused by a volcanic eruption in 536 AD that led to widespread famine, the treasure offers a glimpse into the wealth and beliefs of the Germanic Iron Age people who would soon give rise to the Vikings. Part 4. The Glimmer of Sunken Fortunes. Our final treasures were lost, not to the earth, but to the sea, hidden in the depths until storms and determined divers brought them back to the light. 12. The Caesarea Gold Hoard, a storm's revelation. In 2015, a violent winter storm battered the coast of Israel. When the weather cleared, a group of scuba divers, including Zvika Fire, went diving off the coast of the ancient Roman port city of Caesarea Maritima. What they found on the seabed was a diver's dream. The storm had churned up the ocean floor, revealing a trove of gold coins. They saw a few coins glinting on the seabed and initially thought they were from a toy. But upon closer inspection, they realized they were real. The divers immediately reported their find to the Israel Antiquities Authority. Marine archaeologists were dispatched to the site and recovered over 2,000 gold coins. It was the largest hoard of gold coins ever discovered in Israel. The coins were dinars, minted between the years 909 and 1036 AD during the time of the Fatimid Caliphate, which controlled Caesarea at the time. Archaeologists believe the treasure was either the tax revenue from the city being transported to the central government in Egypt that went down with a shipwreck, or the pay chest for a Fatimid military garrison stationed in Caesarea. The divers were praised by the authorities as a shining example of civic duty for the speed and honesty with which they reported their incredible find. 13. The St. Albans Hoard, a beginner's luck. In the autumn of 2012, an English bricklayer named Wesley Carrington decided to try out a new hobby. He bought a beginner's metal detector from a shop in the historic town of Berkhamsted, Hertfordshire, and went to a nearby field to test it out. On his very first outing, he found one of the largest hoards of Roman gold coins ever discovered in the United Kingdom. The hoard included 159 Roman solidi, gold coins first minted in the 4th century by the Emperor Constantine the Great. The coins were produced during the reigns of several emperors, including Gratian, Valentinian II, Theodosius I, Arcadius, and Honorius, the same period as the Zabia treasure. These gold coins were far more valuable than the more common silver and bronze coins of the era. The area where they were found, near the modern town of St. Albans, was the site of the major Roman town of Verulamium. The discovery by a complete novice on his first attempt highlights the incredible amount of history still buried beneath the English countryside, waiting to be found.